Testing 1 2 3. 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 Well, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs had trouble in York, Pennsylvania. They won game 1, but lost games 2 and 3, both of which were winnable games for Southern Maryland. Went 2 for 19 with runners in scoring position in game 2, and really struggled down the stretch in game 3 of that series. So they lose 2 out of 3 in York. The Blue Crabs now come home to Regency Furniture Stadium for 3 more with the Revs as we get underway in game 1 of this series. In some sense, it's game 4 of a 6-game set. It's JC Encarnacion who will get things started for the Revs. We'll bring you around the lineup, the defensive alignment in just a moment for the Blue Crabs, along with the starting lineup for the York Revolution. Alex Merrithew gets the ball for the Blue Crabs. The first pitch is fouled back toward us in the count 0-1 on JC Encarnacion. Well, let's start with the starting lineup for the York Revolution. JC Encarnacion gets things going. He's in right. Batting second, it's the shortstop, Elmer Reyes. Telvin Nash in the 3 spot. He's at first base. The designated hitter is the cleanup hitter, Nelly Rodriguez. 0-1 pitch, that's away, count 1-1. Troy Stokes Jr. bats fifth. Josue Herrera is in the 6th spot. John Nunez back behind the plate. We haven't seen Lenin Rodriguez since game 1 of that series in York. Connor Lean back in the 8th spot. The pitch on the ground over to shortstop. Fielded right around belt high by Bach. A quick throw to first is in time for the first out. And batting 9th, it's Maglio Ordonez Jr. I'm sure everybody knows Maglio Ordonez Sr., the MLB great. Well, his son now plays for the York Revolution. Has not had nearly the career that his father did. Maglio Ordonez Jr. was a 38th round pick of the Tigers back in 2014. His father has put up some outstanding numbers over the course of his career. And the count, or I beg your pardon, no pitch to Elmer Reyes. I thought that he'd thrown down, but he has not yet thrown down. Ordonez is a career .309 hitter. Says something else. 15-year big league seasons, and the pitch to Elmer Reyes, swinging a foul tip into the mid of Joe DeLuca, and the count 0-1. We'll give you a lot more on Maglio Ordonez as we go further into today's broadcast. But let's stay with the current lineup tonight for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, or at least the defensive alignment, as the 0-1 delivery, line drive, foul, right field side, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes on Elmer Reyes. Defensively, it's Jack Sundberg in left, Zach Collier in center, and Matt Hibbert in right field tonight. Hibbert really the only major change from yesterday to today. And the pitch, it's low in the dirt, and the count 1-1. Alex Crosby at third, Michael Baca at short, Ian Yetzko at second, and Jared Walker at first base. It's Joe DeLuca doing the catching for Alex Merrithew. Braxton Lee gets the night off, lefty on lefty, as Alex Merrithew comes set. 1-2 pitch to Elmer Reyes. Low in the dirt, nicely blocked again by Joe DeLuca. On the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the first inning, scoreless ball game between the York Revolution and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland has lost 6 of their last 9 games, and the pitch fouled back to the netting, and the count remains 2-2. The Blue Crabs fall to 24-19 in the second half. Even if Southern Maryland wins the final 23 games here in the second half, they would not be able to match their first half finish of 48-18. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, third base side. It falls for a base hit down the line. Sundberg races after it. Elmer Reyes trots into second base. He has a 1-out double. Well, Elmer Reyes pulls it down the line. Doesn't hit the ball all that hard, but it's placed perfectly down that left field line. It's an extra base hit for Elmer Reyes, who lines one down the line and left. 1 on, 1 out for the Revs in the top of the first inning. Merrithew tonight throwing 91, 92, touching 93 so far. The velocity back where it's been throughout the course of the season. But he does allow an extra base hit to Elmer Reyes. And the first pitch is up and away for ball 1 on Telvin Nash. That last ball not hit hard at all, just 75 miles per hour off the bat. That's considered a slowly hit ball. But nailed down the line, 1-0 delivery. Big wave and a miss in the count, 1-1. David Harris also out of the lineup tonight. And Raul Shah is the designated hitter. Shah had a bit of a tough go of things up in York. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2 to Telvin Nash. Meanwhile, Ian Yetzko, who he's been working with over at second base, the two of them have been splitting time. Had a pretty good series, 2 for 5, also had a 3-run shot in game 3 of that series. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Telvin Nash. Merrithew the pitch. Low and away, the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top of the first inning. Alex Merrithew looking to work around a 1-out double from Elmer Reyes. Telvin Nash, the hitter. Followed by Nelly Rodriguez, who also homered last series. And the pitch, it's upstairs, and DeLuca lost it. Now he fires to third. It's not going to be in time to get Telvin Nash, or beg your pardon, to get Elmer Reyes. It's a passed ball against Joe DeLuca. And the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes now. That's going to hurt Alex Merrithew, as Nash now has an opportunity to drive in a run following the pass ball to Joe DeLuca. A ground out in the infield should be enough to get in Elmer Reyes. Infield plays back here in the top of the first. 3-2. Oh, it looked close, and it's ball 4. Oh, the home plate umpire, Silvio Martinez, says it's just a little bit up and away. And it misses for ball 4, and Telvin Nash is aboard. Let's see where our track man puts that pitch. Once the results come in, the TrackMan is delayed. It has always been delayed since we got that software. Runners on the corners and one out in the top of the first for Nelly Rodriguez, who takes the first pitch called strike. Our TrackMan has that pitch to Telvin Nash in the zone 100%. Same exact spot that Telvin Nash swung and missed that pitch. It was an 83-mile-per-hour slider that was up and in the zone. It was honestly a good pitch to hit for Nash. Should have been strike three. Pitch popped up, shallow left, shallow right, I should say. Long run for Hibbert. Hibbert gets over to the line, he makes the catch, and he fires in to the first baseman, Jared Walker, and it holds Elmer Reyes at third base. A pop-up down the right field line, and Hibbert manages to get there, and there are two away in the top of the first inning. Marathon needs just one pitch to get the out against Nelly Rodriguez, as Troy Stokes Jr. comes to the dish. Stokes went deep off of Darryl Thompson yesterday in the second inning as part of the Blue Crabs' 6-4 loss. It gave the Revs a 5-0 lead at the time. The Blue Crabs would chip away, got back within one run. It was a 5-4 ball game after the two-run shot from Ian Yetzko, but could not tie it. And the pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss, count 0-1. Josue Herrera in the lineup. He's on deck. John Nunez back in the catching spot. Connor Lean bats eighth, and Maglio Ordonez Jr. is the 9-hitter. Pitch on the ground, foul, third base side. And that hits our third base camera stand, the tripod, which is well constructed enough so that it doesn't break and holds up. Count no balls and 2 strikes on Troy Stokes Jr. as Alex Marathon looks to work out of this inning after surrendering a one-out double to Elmer Reyes. Pitch to Stokes, swinging a high pop-up in the infield. It's Ian Yetzko who calls everybody else off, and he makes the catch overhead for the final out. Well, Marathon runs himself into a little bit of trouble, but he works out of the top of the first inning unscathed. This ball game is scoreless as we go to the bottom of the first inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, we get ready to go on the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless ball game. The Blue Crabs have quite a few lineup changes this evening, as a couple of changes, a couple of guys out of the lineup have really turned this lineup on its head, as the first pitch is in there for a called strike on Jack Sundberg, and the count 0-1. So if you haven't listened to a game since the last time the Blue Crabs were home, there are quite a few changes in this lineup. No personnel changes. No one's been released or added. Just all different spots in the lineup with different batters. Pitch, swing and a miss, and the count 0-2. So Jack Sundberg still leads things off, but it's Michael Baca in the 2 spot. Zach Collier's batting 3rd. Jared Walker bats 4th. Alex Crosby in the 5 spot. Joe DeLuca bats 6th. Matt Hibbert bats 7th tonight. Raul Shaw is the DH. He bats 8th. And Ian Yetzko bats 9th. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Jack Sundberg down swinging. And 1 up and 1 down to get things going in the bottom of the first inning. Well, let's bring you around the defensive alignment before we give you some information on Ben Herrick, the starting pitcher for the Revs. In left field, it's Troy Stokes Jr. In center, it's Connor Lean. In right field, JC Encarnacion. The third baseman is Josue Herrera. Elmer Reyes at shortstop. The second baseman is Maglio Ordonez Jr. The pitch to Michael Baca, a called strike. Telvin Nash bats, is the first baseman, I should say. And doing the catching, it's John Nunez for Ben Herrick. Let's give you the numbers on Ben Herrick in just one moment, as the 0-1 delivery to Baca is low and in the dirt, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Herrick has played for 2 teams this year, played for Lexington, threw just 1 inning for Lexington back on June 10th, and has thrown 4 1/3 for the York Revolution. It was not good last time out. 4 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. He walked 2, he struck out just 2. A rare walk for Alex Merrithew back in the first inning. It's not something he does a lot of at all. I'll give you the numbers in a moment. Pitch, swinging a line drive foul, first base side. Alex Merrithew's walk in the first inning was just the 18th of the season across 83 2/3 innings. You ask, so how often does he walk someone? Just under 1 every 5 innings. So on average per 9, it's about 2 per 9. And the pitch to Michael Baca is up and away. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the righty. Blue Crabs manager made the switch from Ian Yetzko and Raul Shaw, who had been splitting time at second base and also splitting time in the 2 spot. They moved them down to 9th in the lineup and moved Baca to 2nd. 2-2 pitch, a foul tip, and Baca stays alive, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Your probable starters for the series: Merrithew, followed by Lamson and Butler. 2, 3, and 4 in the Blue Crabs rotation. Ben Herrick gets the start tonight for the Revs. Austin Nicely and Duke Shaman are to follow. Duke von Shaman pitched in game 1 of the first series. Pitch to Baca, low and in, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Your umpiring crew tonight: Silvio Martinez behind the plate, Jerry Baresh at first, and Bill Worthington is at third. Bill the skill. 3-2 pitch, up and away, ball 4, and it's Michael Baca who earns a 1-out walk. It's a deep count, 7 pitches, and a good at bat for Michael Baca. Here comes Zach Collier. Followed by Jared Walker and Alex Crosby. 3, 4, and 5 for the Blue Crabs. Matt Hibbert in the 7 spot. Hibbert hitting the ball well recently. We've seen his average rise nearly 40 points. Had a chance to talk to him before yesterday's ball game as part of our pregame interview segment, as the first pitch in there for a called strike on Zach Collier. We've been playing those in the middle of the innings, at the end of the innings, during our commercial break spots for the first few innings. We're going to get back to doing that as soon as we get another interview today. Just didn't quite get there. The players were all quite busy. All the ones who thought would be reasonable conclusions had a lot of work to get in before today's ball game. So didn't get the interview today. We'll get one tomorrow, though. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike on Zach Collier, which took a fastball for a strike before the changeup missed low and away. Baca on first with 1 out in the bottom of the first. No score. And the pitch, line drive, right field. This ball falling and falling fast for a base hit. And extra bases. Collier jogs into second. Baca coming to the plate. The throw home is not in time. An RBI double for Zach Collier. He's been producing recently, and he produces here in the first inning. An RBI double down the right field line. By the time JC Encarnacion got the relay throw into Maglio Ordonez Jr., was not in time to get Baca, who runs rather well and scores all the way from first on the RBI double from Zach Collier. That, the Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead. Here is Jared Walker. And the first pitch is away for ball 1. Count 1-0. Runner on second base, 1 out. One-0 delivery. Swing a high fly ball, right center field. This one well hit. Encarnacion back, gives way to Connor Lean, who gets under it and makes the catch. Collier tagging from second to third. He gets in there easily. But a long fly out for Jared Walker. If he was in Lancaster, that ball's out of the ballpark. If he's in York, that ball might get out of the ballpark. Here in Southern Maryland, the field is about as deep as it gets, and that's merely a long fly out, and there are 2 away. And here comes Alex Crosby. Will be followed by Joe DeLuca, who will bat from the right side against the lefty Ben Herrick. Collier on third base now with 2 outs. The Blue Crabs already with a run in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Crosby is away in the count 1-0. Ben Herrick struggled his last time out, and here in the first inning, feeling the pressure. Pitch, line drive, right field. This ball falling, but not quite fast enough as JC Encarnacion tracks it down in shallow right for the final out. The Blue Crabs pulled a lot of balls toward right field. They score a run on an RBI double from Zach Collier, bringing in Michael Baca. The Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the second. Well, Josue Herrera will get things started in the top of the second inning. Blue Crabs won, the Revs nothing. An RBI double from Zach Collier, the difference so far. First pitch is away for ball one on Josue Herrera. Herrera, Nunez, and Lean, 6, 7, and 8 due up in the inning. 1-0 pitch, called strike. And the count 1-1 from Alex Marathieu. Marathieu worked around a walk and a hit in the top of the first inning. Stranded runners on the corners. And the pitch, top foul, first base side, over toward the Revs dugout. And the count 1-2 strikes. Alex Marathieu with 5 consecutive quality starts coming into this ball game. Across the month of August, a 3-0 record, a 2.79 earned run average. The 1-2 pitch is away, and the count 2-2 strikes on Josue Herrera, the lefty. Last time out for Marathieu, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks against the Genomes. Pitch, that's low, and the count 3-2 strikes on Herrera. So Marathieu ahead in the count, throws a couple of pitches out of the zone, and now has to deal with a full count against Herrera. Again, Alex Marathieu, not someone who walks a lot of batters. He really prefers to attack the strike zone. And now the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, hard hit over to second, fielded by Yetzko. The toss to first in plenty of time to get Herrera. And there is one away in the top of the second inning. Well, fans, we've got a couple of things to get to today as far as trivia question related and your favorites related. We're going to do sort of a top 3 as far as ballparks in the Atlantic League are concerned. So if you'd like to comment in the YouTube chat, please go ahead and do so and let us know what your top 3 favorite Atlantic League stadiums are. Of course, the Reg is automatically your favorite because the Blue Crabs play at the Reg. But let's take the Reg out of it. Your 3 favorite opposing ball clubs. Pitch. This one swinging a hard fly ball, deep left field. This one back to the warning track. Sundberg tracks it down in front of the mini monster for the second out. John Nunez swung at the first pitch from Alex Marathieu. And there are now 2 away. Couple of hard hit balls, but right at fielders. And here comes Connor Lean, who's got a ton of speed. And the first pitch to Lean is low and away, count 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs on Connor Lean. And the pitch, that's a called strike, inner half, and the count 1-1 strike. Just to give you an idea of how hard hit some of these have been off the bat, Josue Herrera's ground out at 107.6. It's about as hard hit as we've seen a ball in a while here. As the pitch is low and away, and the count 2-1 now on Lean. If you hit that with a proper launch angle, that ball is destroyed. John Nunez's fly out, not all that hard hit, 92.7, right around average. And here is the 2-1 pitch. On the ground is short. Baca fields and fires in time to get the very speedy Connor Lean, who can fly down those base paths. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Maybe not the way that Alex Marathieu wrote it up. Either way, it's the Revs who are retired in order in the top of the second. The Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Alex Crosby, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
At Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, mortgages are what they do, not who they are. Fairway Mortgage Corporation is a proud partner of the American Warrior Initiative. A key part of this initiative is to educate, encourage, and inspire Americans to give back to our military. Visit their website at www.americanwarriorinitiative.com
for more details. Our military fought to protect the American dream. Let's help them live it.
Well, Joe DeLuca gets us started in the bottom of the second inning. The Blue Crabs will send the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to the plate. DeLuca, Hibbert, Shaw, and Yetzko if necessary to follow. Joe DeLuca, the switch hitter who was hitting exclusively from the right side up until that series against York, shows bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 1. He really struggled in that last series against the Genomes, batting from the right side against right-handed pitchers. The breaking ball goes away from you as opposed to coming toward you when you're batting from the left side against a righty. You never really see a ball go away from you on a breaking ball because the ball's always coming towards you as a switch hitter. Pitch, that's away. The count 2-0, and I asked him, when's the last time you've done that? And I don't think DeLuca really had an answer. He said, I'm not really sure. He's always been a switch hitter. So you try to start something brand new, and it's going to be tough. 2-0 pitch is low and in. Count 3-0 now on DeLuca. Three balls, no strikes, no outs. 1-0 Blue Crabs. The RBI double from Zach Collier in the bottom of the first inning. The difference so far in game 1 at home. Pitch, line drive, shallow center field, dropping fast. It drops for a base hit. Joe DeLuca with a single as it one hops into the glove of the center fielder Connor Lean. Lean's got real wheels, but he couldn't quite get there in time. As there's a runner on first base with nobody out for Matt Hibbert on a Friday night in Waldorf, Maryland. It's Friday Night Lights night. All the local high schools and their high school football teams made the trip. Also the cheerleading squads. Hibbert followed by Shaw and Yetzko with a runner on first base and nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive, very well struck left center field, but it's the center fielder Connor Lean who gets a beat on that ball quickly and makes the grab for the first out. Hibbert hit that ball well, but Connor Lean runs even better, and he makes the catch for the first out in the bottom of the second inning. Brings Raul Shaw to the plate. Shaw did not play yesterday. He did play back in game 2 of the series against York, and to be rather frank, he did struggle a little bit. He did have a walk, but 3 strikeouts, and he came up in a couple of different chances with runners in scoring position and could not come through for the Blue Crabs back in game 2. Here's the pitch. And he was late on that one. He fouled it back to the netting in the count 0-1. I think he tried to check his swing and realized he had to follow through on it. Got a piece of it nonetheless in the count 0-1. Raul Shah has hit well at times this season. Really has. Early in the year, he actually led the Blue Crabs in batting average for a time. Pitch, line drive through the hole on the left side for a base hit. That's got to feel good for Raul Shah as he jumps on the fastball and pulls it into left. And there are runners on first and second with one out for Southern Maryland as Ian Yetzko comes to the plate. Yetzko 1 for 3 last night. He flied into a double play with the bases loaded and one out. He hit that one toward the wall in the left. Probably about 280 feet, but a perfect throw by the left fielder, Troy Stokes Jr. in time. Runners on first and second, one out. Pitch to Yetzko. Ground ball foul on the count 0-1. No balls, one strike, one out with runners on first and second. DeLuca leads off of second base. Hibbert from first. And the 0-1 pitch. Called strike in the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on the second baseman, Yetzko. After flying into the double play, hit a 2-run shot. Also walked in yesterday's ball game, had a very productive day. DeLuca takes off a little early from third base. Now he's in the rundown. And now it's going to be Shah who takes off for second. So DeLuca tagged out, trying to go from second to third. And Shah advances from first to second. And so they're down 2 away with a runner on second base. That makes things a little bit easier for Ben Herrick. It's a clear mistake on the base paths from Joe DeLuca, who started just a little bit early, as he was going as part of a double steal to put 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Count, no balls and 2 strikes on Ian Yetzko. Couple of off-speed pitches from Ben Herrick to Ian Yetzko. 0-2 delivery. Up and away, count 1-2. Raul Shah, who singled earlier in the inning, he's on second base. Joe DeLuca thrown out as part of a rundown. Caught stealing. And the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, deep left field. This ball is back to the warning track. It is gone. Home run onto the roof of the clubhouse. Ian Yetzko has many home runs in as many days as he sprints around the bases. And the Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead. Ian Yetzko goes deep to left on back-to-back nights. And Southern Maryland has a comfortable 3-0 lead in the second. Well, if Ian Yetzko is looking to have a prominent spot in the lineup night in and night out, he's certainly made his case for it in the last 2 days as he drills that ball over the wall in left field onto the roof of the mini monster, and the Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead. Ian Yetzko hitting the ball very, very well in the last couple of nights. And the pitch now to Jack Sundberg, swinging on the first pitch. It's fielded by Elmer Reyes. The throw to first is in time. And that ends the bottom of the second inning, but not before the Blue Crabs add 2 more on a 2-run shot from Ian Yetzko. It's 3-0 Southern Maryland on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate.
Never forget, thank you.
Or go to WilliamRichmondInc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Now we're back in the top of the third inning. First pitch, swing and a miss from Maglio Ordonez Jr. And Maglio Ordonez Jr., of course, the son of Maglio Ordonez Sr. As the 0-1 pitch called strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-2. And the emphatic strike call from Silvio Martinez. Let's start with the numbers on Ordonez Jr. and the 0-2 pitch called strike 3, and he goes down looking. And there is one away. Well, Maglio Ordonez Jr. in the American Association was just 3 for 28, a 107 hitter, hit 162 in the Frontier League with the Empire State Grays. And the Detroit Tigers had him in rookie ball in 2014 and 2015, but hit a combined 113. And the first pitch now to JC Encarnacion. A little bit upstairs in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Meanwhile, his father, a .309 hitter over the course of his career. And the pitch on the ground over to second base. Yetzko Fields. He fires, and it's just barely in time to get the speedy JC Encarnacion, who runs very well down the line. Maglio Ordonez Sr., a 6-time All-Star, had the top batting average in Major League Baseball in 2007 at .363, and was second in MVP voting that year. Also a Silver Slugger. Top 10 in MVP voting twice, top 25 in MVP voting on 5 occasions. The father of Maglio Ordonez Jr. That's Maglio Ordonez Sr., who played with the Tigers and the White Sox across the course of his career. And the first pitch now to Elmer Reyes, a called strike. Well, quickly 2 up and 2 down for Alex Merrithew, As the 0-1 pitch is away, count 1-1. Marathon 2 2/3 innings over 36 pitches. Marathon pitch. That one check swing, foul ball back to the backstop in the count 1-2. Lone hit so far off the bat of Elmer Reyes, who's at the plate right now. As he doubled down the left field line. Certainly not the hardest hit ball today at just 75 miles per hour. And the 1-2 just a little away, count 2-2. Idea on the velocity from both these pitchers. 92.6 miles per hour. That's the hardest fastball we've seen from Marathon up until this point. He also throws a slider. And the pitch, that's low in the count 3-2. Fastball has been 89 to 93, but for the most part, 90 to 92 has been where the fastballs have hovered. The slider, again, 82 to 84. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, shallow left field. Sundberg lost it, then found it, and he makes the catch in shallow left for the final out. Another 1-2-3 inning from Alex Marathon, who's retired 8 consecutive Revs. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead here at the Reg in Waldorf.
Go.
Well, Michael Baca will get the offense started in the bottom of the 3rd. Blue Crabs lead 3-0. The first pitch is away for ball 1. Austin Rooney, happy to have you with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Fans, go ahead and comment in the YouTube chat as to what your favorite 3 ballparks across the Atlantic League are. Apart, of course, from the Reg. The pitch popped up into shallow center field. It's the center fielder Connor Lean who comes in and makes the catch overhead. There's one away. Well, an RBI double from Zach Collier gave the Blue Crabs a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 1st. The 2-run blast from Ian Yetzko has the Blue Crabs ahead 3-0. Zach Collier has seen his batting average jump to near 260. And the first pitch to Collier, ground ball foul. First base side over toward the tarp, and the count 0-1. Blue Crabs 4 for 10 at the plate tonight, along with 3 runs. 3 RBIs to show for it as well. Haven't always seen RBIs correlate with runs recently. Blue Crabs have capitalized off of some errors from opposing teams almost as much as they've scored regularly. And the 0-1 pitch, that's away. Count 1-1. In game 3 of the series, Blue Crabs picked up a run on a fielder's choice from Joe DeLuca. Ground ball was hit to shortstop. The throw went into right field. Allowed Collier to come around and score. Pitch called strike, and the count 1-2 now on Collier on the outer half. A breaking ball from Ben Herrick. 1 away in the bottom of the third. Southern Maryland 3 and the Revs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Here is the 1-2. That's low. Count 2-2. Blue Crabs 3 runs on 4 hits. For the Revs, no runs on 1 hit. And here is the 2-2 pitch. Well inside on Collier, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch upcoming. Swing and a line drive. More of a pop-up, though, into shallow right field. It's the shortstop, Elmer Reyes, who drifts back and makes the catch. And there are 2 away. Well, if you look among qualifiers in ERA now, Alex Merrithew has jumped into the top spot among starting pitchers. Get that. 3.68 ERA for Alex Merrithew. Darrell Thompson's ERA fell to 3.69. So all of a sudden, Alex Merrithew has the best earned run average among starting pitchers for the Blue Crabs. I'm not sure anybody would have imagined that on opening day. And the pitch from Walker, hard foul ball, third base side. And the count 0-1. Count 0-1 to Jared Walker, a lefty who flied out to deep center field his first time up. And the pitch, that one a foul tip. The count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jared Walker taps his bat against home plate once. Here is the 0-2 delivery. Upstairs, count 1-2. Base path's empty with 2 outs. Pitch to Walker. Line drive foul overhead, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here is the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball, hard hit right at the first baseman. That's Telvin Nash who fields and steps on first for the final out. Blue Crabs down in order. Fly out from Baca, pop out from Collier, and a ground out from Walker. We go to the top of the fourth inning. The Blue Crabs still lead by 3.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Telvin Nash gets the Revs started in the top of the fourth inning. Blue Crabs 3, the Revs nothing. No runs on 1 hit with a walk for York. For the Blue Crabs, 3 hits on 4 runs. First pitch from Merrithew, a hard fastball, looked close, maybe a little outside, in the count 1-0. Well, Merrithew probably should have had a strike 3 call on Telvin Nash his first time up. Well, now he hits one on the ground over to short. Baca fields, he's been busy today, and fires to first in time. And there is one away. Well, if you want one thing and you want consistency, that's what Merrithew's been across the month. Very consistent. Has allowed 2 or 3 runs in each of his last 5 starts. 7 innings, 2 runs at Lancaster back on July 27th. 7 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned against Charleston on August the 3rd. Against High Point, 8 innings, 3 runs. As the first pitch called strike on Nelly Rodriguez. At Staten Island, 7 innings, 10 hits, 2 runs. And last time out against Wild Health, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. And now the 0-1 pitch a little low, and the count 1-1. Only 1 strikeout tonight. The strikeout numbers have really varied from Alex Merrithew. Against High Point, when he had 8 innings, 3 runs, he also struck out 11 in that ballgame. Pitch on the ground over to third. Fielded on the forehand by Crosby. The throw to first is in time, and there are 2 away. Well, he's kept his fielders on their toes, that's for sure, but the damage has been very much limited. I think a mix between well-positioned fielders and a lot of ground balls. And Telvin Nash hit the ball pretty hard to the shortstop, Baca, and that last one off the bat of Nelly Rodriguez also rather well hit. Either way, 2 up, 2 down. Pitch up and away to Troy Stokes Jr. in the count 1-0. And now it's 10 consecutive retired by Alex Merrithew. And the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, very well struck, deep center field. Collier back to the warning track at the wall, looking up, it's off the wall. Collier has trouble with it. Stokes digging for 3, and he's going to stop right there with a 2-out triple off the wall in center field. Collier went way back on that ball. He leaped and didn't quite get there. And it is a 2-out triple from Troy Stokes Jr. as that ball was belted to deep center field. And that brings up Josue Herrera, 10 consecutive batters retired. That streak comes to an end from Alex Merrithew as on the RBI double. First pitch breaking ball that misses, up and away in the count 1-0. So Troy Stokes Jr. blasts the ball to center. He had a home run last night against Darrell Thompson. Almost goes deep tonight against Merrithew. 1-0 pitch is low to Josue Herrera. Tracking some of the exit velocities more recently. That ball from Troy Stokes Jr. was blasted. Pitch, comebacker right to the mound. Alex Merrithew fields and tosses over to first base in time for the out. Well, Merrithew works around a 2-out triple at the end of 3.5 innings of play. It's the Blue Crabs who still have a 3-0 lead over the Revs.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the fourth inning, the Blue Crabs lead the Revs 3-0, and it's Alex Crosby who gets things started for Southern Maryland. The first pitch is low, and the count 1-0. Crosby will be followed by DeLuca and Hibbert, 5, 6, and 7 in the Blue Crabs order. As we approach 7:45 in the evening on the East Coast. 1-0 pitch. Line drive. Left field, shallow, long run for Troy Stokes Jr., who's not going to get there. It's a leadoff single for Alex Crosby, and the Blue Crabs have the leadoff man on in the bottom of the fourth. And Joe DeLuca to the plate. Joe DeLuca, in his first at bat, he picked up a base hit to center field, was caught stealing second base, or from second to third. Crosby didn't try to do all that much with that base hit, just sort of poked it the other way into left field. First pitch to DeLuca, big wave and a miss, count 0-1. So with a runner on first and nobody out, it'll be DeLuca followed by Hibbert and Shaw. Yetzko to follow if necessary. And the pitch to DeLuca, low and in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. DeLuca hit north of 300 across the season last year. His average at 274 so far this year. But the sample size limited. And he's been fighting injuries at times. Was out for an entire month from July 16th to August 16th. And now the 1-1. Low, and the count 2-1. We're going to have a tennis ball toss at the conclusion of this ball game. We'll get into that after this 2-1 offering comes from Ben Herrick. Pitch, big, wave and a miss, count 2-2. It's the conclusion of the ball game. All the fans who purchase the tennis ball will throw the tennis ball onto the field. If it lands in one of the hula hoops, they get some sort of a discount at the team store, I think it is. If you hit it in, throw it into a trash can, you get a free suite. All sorts of prizes that you can win. 2-2. On the ground over to third. Fielded on the backhand by a third baseman. Herrera throw to first in time to get Joe DeLuca, who runs rather well for the most part, but thrown out at first, and there's one away. Meanwhile, Crosby from first to second. And Matt Hibbert comes to the plate. Matt Hibbert with a line out to left center field his first time up. It's pretty well struck in the gap between left and left center, but Lean tracked it down. Hibbert comes into this ball game hitting .231, 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. First pitch. Swinging a hard line drive, third base side, foul. It was pretty close, but it was a foul ball. Matt Latos doesn't like the call. He thinks it's a fair ball. He's pointing in that direction at least. Alex Crosby, who led off the inning with a single, he stands on second, count 0-1. But line drives like that are what Hibbert has thrived on across his career. Go gap to gap with those, go down the line as well. And the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, count 0-2. Fastball from Herrick. Blows it by Matt Hibbert. Count 0-2. Alex Marathew, 4 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 walk for Ben Herrick. 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And Matt Hibbert steps out in a 2-strike count with Raul Shah on deck. Shah picked up a base hit to left his first time up. Blue Crabs 3, the Revs nothing. A run in the first on an RBI double from Zach Collier, and 2 in the second on a 2-run shot from Ian Yetzko. Here's the 0-2. Low in the dirt. Momentarily gets away from the catcher, that's John Nunez. Hibbert to the plate, Crosby on second. And the 1-1-2 is away, count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second base. And Hibbert steps out of the batter's box. Home plate umpire, it's Silvio Martinez who called time. We'll see Jerry Baresh tomorrow. And Bill the Skill Worthington will go in game 3. And the pitch, that one drilled foul, third base side, over to the Legends Club toward the parking lot. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Hibbert takes a couple of practice swings. Two on the ground. This one toward the middle and up the middle for a base hit. Crosby around third. The throw to the plate is way offline. It's an RBI single from Matt Hibbert. The catcher, John Nunez, goes out to catch that ball and holds Hibbert to a single. The Blue Crabs have jumped on top 4-0 though, with an RBI single here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Raul Shah will come to the plate. Matt Hibbert continues to hit the ball very well at the plate. This time a high chopper and a seeing eye single up the middle. It splits Elmer Reyes and Maglio Ordonez. First pitch up and away in the count 1-0. Raul Shah always waves that red bat. Not sure why the bat's always red. We'll have to go and ask about that. But he always does wave that red bat. The toss over to first base sends Hibbert diving back in. He's found some success with it, though. I mean, he hit the game-tying home run against the Ducks back in June. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball. This one to deep left field. Back to the warning track at the wall. Shah goes deep to left. Onto the top of the mini monster for a 2-run home run. Raul Shah matches Ian Yetzko with a 2-run shot, and the Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead. We just talked about it moments ago. He's found some success with the red bat, and he hits the home run with the red bat. Over the wall in left, and the Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead. Well, Raul Shah starting to hit the ball much, much better after a really tough go of things. back in game 2 against York. He's just feasting off of Ben Herrick. And Ben Herrick has allowed 6 runs and 3 1/3. All 6 earned. And 7 hits to go along with it. And the first pitch to Ian Yetzko. Big wave and a miss. High fastball, and the count 0-1. Well, it's been the bottom of the lineup that's provided the majority of the offense. Give you the numbers in just one moment. Pitch. It's a called strike, and the count 0-1. So 1 through 4 in the Blue Crabs lineup is 1 for 7 today. But batters 5 through 9 are 6 for 9. That's something else. And the 0-1, or the 0-2 I should say, is outside. Now the count 1-2. A couple guys were up, then went back down. Carlos Ventura was up and stretching. And now the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Yetzko goes down on strikes. And there are 2 away, I should say, in the bottom of the 4th inning. So a 2-run home run from Raul Shah, who matches Ian Yetzko, as part of a 3-run 4th inning for the Blue Crabs. The RBI single up the middle from Matt Hibbert gave the Blue Crabs a 4-0 lead, and Raul Shah over the wall in left field. And the first pitch up and away for ball 1 on Jack Sundberg. Jack Sundberg with his 27-game on-base streak on the line. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Count 1-1. Ben Herrick, who's thrown 63 pitches. Here's the delivery. Up and in, count 2-1 now. Blue Crabs 6, York nothing. A decent crowd on hand for Friday Night Lights. Celebration of high school football as gets back into action in the coming weeks. 2-1. Called strike, count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on Jack Sundberg. Here's the delivery. That's low and away. And the count 3-2. That pitch somewhat close, but clearly a ball. Jack Sundberg hitting 293 during this 27-game on-base streak. On-base percentage of 393. 3-2 pitch. Foul back. The top of that netting, and the count remains 3-2. One of the benefits from Ben Herrera, though, Ben Herrick, though, only walked 1 batter. It was Michael Baca who walked in the first. 3-2 pitch, swinging a high fly ball. This one drilled to right center. Back in front of the warning track, it's Connor Lean who tracks it down for the final out. Oh, Jack Sundberg gave that ball a ride, but it gets caught up in deep right center field. It's just a long fly out, and that ends the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, the Blue Crabs scored 3 runs on 3 hits at the end of 4. It's the Blue Crabs 6 and the Revs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
It's the top of the 5th inning. The Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead over the Revs. Austin Rooney, happy to have you with us. John Nunez steps in. First pitch called strike, and the count 0-1. John Nunez will be followed by Connor Lean and Maglio Ordonez. And the pitch fouled back, and the count 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes on the catcher, Nunez. Pitch is up and away, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Let's give you the update on Alex Merrithew and his night so far. 4 innings of work. He has thrown now 54 pitches. So, I mean, based on his pitch count recently, he's been able to go over 100. He could go 8. 1-2 pitch is low and away. Count 2-2. Merrithew's gone 4 innings so far, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He's allowed his fair share of hard-hit balls, but they've all been either right at fielders or that one is not. It's through the right side for a base hit, and the 2-2 pitch has given John Nunez his first hit of the night. And there's a runner on first with nobody out. That ball was well struck through the right side for a base hit for John Nunez. As Connor Lean comes to the plate. Normally a runner on first base, nobody out. Looking for a double play ball against Connor Lean. That's extremely hard to come by because he runs so well. Even if it's a hot shot at a middle infielder. First pitch, big wave and a miss from Connor Lean, and the count 0-1. There's no way Yetzko or Walker was going to get to that single. That was hit off the bat 94 miles per hour, which is a little above average. Pitch fouled back, and the count 0-2. Merrithew topped out today at 93 miles per hour on the fastball, has averaged 91. Had quite a few in the 92 to 93 range, though. And the 0-2 up and away. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Connor Lean. Top 5. Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the fourth. And the pitch, check swing, did he go? They motioned down to the first base umpire. That's Jerry Baresh, who said no, he did not. Count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out with a runner on first base. And the 2-2 delivery low and away. Count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. As Connor Lean taps home plate once. Runner on first base. Here's the pitch from Merrithew. Drive into left field. It's a base hit. Sundberg quickly gets to it and fires in, and that holds John Nunez at second base, but there are runners on first and second with nobody out in the 5th inning as Maglio Ordonez Jr. comes back to the plate. He was the lone strikeout victim in this ball game for Alex Merrithew. And after allowing just 3 hits across the first, or allowing just 2 hits across the first 4 innings, he's now allowed 2 hits here in the 5th inning alone to back-to-back batters. It's got to be a little bit concerning. Well, usually Merrithew has thrown a ton of strikes. 63 pitches for Merrithew so far. Just 37 strikes, 26 balls. And now a bunt from Ordonez. That's going to go foul. And the count 0-1. It was a pretty good bunt from Maglio Ordonez. That stayed fair. Would have been even a tough play at first base. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Line drive, right field, base hit. Ordonez comes through. The runners go station to station. Nunez held up at third. And the bases are loaded with nobody out in the top of the fifth. And all of a sudden, Alex Merrithew has run into trouble in the fifth inning. 3 consecutive singles. Not even the hardest hit balls, but now they're falling for the Revs. So all you need is a little bit of luck. Yeah, the singles are some of the less hard hit balls, actually, of this ball game. I think the Nelly Rodriguez grounded out at 110 miles per hour, but Connor Lean singles at 87. And the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, J.C. Encarnacion upstairs, count 1-0. The bottom of the order coming through for the Revs have an opportunity to get back in this ball game after the Blue Crabs had scored 6 and led 6-0 coming into the inning. And the pitch, that's low. Count 2-0. Two balls and no strikes on J.C. Encarnacion. Pitch called strike, count 2-1. Two balls, one strike, nobody out. Alex Merrithew has found himself in quite the jam. Leadoff single from John Nunez. Connor Lean followed him up, and Maglio Ordonez with one of his own. Pitch, swing on a drive to deep left, foul. Oh, Encarnacion crushed that ball to left. And would have been a grand slam if that had been maybe 30 feet fair, 30 feet to the right, in fair territory. I don't know, been maybe 20 feet foul or so. It was pretty close. Absolutely crushed down that left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Encarnacion. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Encarnacion nearly hit a grand slam. Instead, he goes down looking on a fastball on the inner half. And there's one away. Elmer Reyes digs that back foot into the batter's box. Merrithew, first pitch. On the ground, this one toward the middle. They flip to second for one, back on to first. How about that? 6-4-3 double play. Michael Baca, the glove flip to the bare hand to Yetzko, and the finish to first in time to get a double play ball on Elmer Reyes to end the top of the 5th inning. Well, Alex Merrithew certainly has his fielders to thank. He's gone 5 innings, has not allowed a run, and the Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, the first pitch to Michael Baca is up and away for ball one. Bottom of the fifth inning, the Blue Crabs have a comfortable 6-0 lead. And the 1-0 pitch called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead. They've scored 6 runs on 7 hits. On the other hand, the Revs, no runs on 5 hits. And the 1-1 pitch in there for a called strike. It's one of those nights for the Blue Crabs where it seems like what could go right does go right. And for the Revs, what could go wrong has gone wrong. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Baca. Pitches away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ben Herrick remains in this ball game here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as I'd imagine the Revs are going to try to keep the DH in, but seems like it might be futile at this point. Just get probably a new pitcher into this ball game is what you need more than anything else. As Herrick has just struggled mightily. 6 runs across 4 innings. Pitch up and away. Oh no, he called him out on strikes? Oh my, that wasn't close. Oh, Michael Baca can't believe it. That pitch was way outside. Oh, was it a ball? Oh, it is ball 3. I was going to say that wasn't close. It's a ball, and the catcher, John Nunez, thought it was strike 3. Silvio Martinez said, no, it's a ball. Oh, this has been very confusing. I thought he was called out on strikes, but no, he was not. 3-2 delivery. Fouled off. First base side, and the count remains 3-2. The TrackMan confirms that it was a little upstairs. The pitch prior was very close. The same spot that Silvio Martinez had a called strike. 3-2. Popped up foul, first base side. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Blue Crabs put up a 6 spot in the inning. Or 6 spot in this ball game. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the 4th. Pitch, line drive, right field side, foul again. And the count remains 3-2. Base paths are empty as Baca leads it off. It'll be Baca followed by Collier and Walker. And here's the pitch. Swing and a high fly ball, center field straight away. It's Connor Lean who takes a few steps over and makes the catch. There is 1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. And meanwhile, Alex Merrithew has gotten about as much help as he could possibly ask for from his fielders. Here comes Zach Collier. First pitch to Collier. That's a little bit upstairs in the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out. 1 out for Zach Collier. Blue Crabs come into this one having lost 6 of their last 9 games. But funny enough, as the pitch is swung on and driven high in the air, right field, not all that deep. It is the right fielder, J.C. Encarnacion, who finds it in the lights and makes the catch for the second out. There are 2 away. Back to that last point I was just about to make before Collier popped it up into right. Well, the Blue Crabs have won each of the series opener to each of the last 3 series. They won the first game against Gastonia, won the first game against Kentucky, the first game against York on the road, but proceeded to lose games 2 and 3 in each of those series. And it's really hard to believe that it's gone exactly to that measure. And the first pitch upstairs in the count 1-0. I apologize, folks. The camera's been set behind center field for the most recent couple of batters. We're going to make sure that you can see it until we have our operators back and working as the pitch is fouled off. First to the third base side in the count 1-1. One ball, one strike. 2 outs on Jared Walker. Blue Crabs 6, the Revs nothing. Ben Herrick trying to work through 5 innings. Here's the pitch from the lefty. Swinging a line drive foul. Third base side, count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jared Walker digs back in. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a high fly ball. Well struck center field. It's the center fielder, Connor Lean, who tracks that ball down and makes the catch for the final out. Ben Herrick settles down in the bottom of the 5th. He retires the Blue Crabs in order. A couple of flyouts to center, 1 to right. At the end of 5 innings of play, it's the Blue Crabs 6 and the Revs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. And top of the 6th inning, first pitch is in there for a called strike on Telvin Nash. Southern Maryland 6, the Revs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. And the first pitch from Merrithew, swing, or the 0-1 I should say, swing and a miss, pitch from the dirt. And the count 0-2 now on Telvin Nash. Give you some shout outs from around the YouTube chat. Multi-Apple said should be a good game. Marilee Grace says let's go Blue Crabs. Tammy Shipley echoes the same idea. Let's go Crabs. We'll give you the report from Dennis Moore in just a moment. 0-2 pitch. That's low. The count 1-2. Says hello all. Possum Point here from Louisiana. Go Blue Crabs. Appreciate you, Austin. Well, we appreciate you, Dennis. Always love having you in the YouTube chat. Wes Mumper says, let's go Crabs. Get back to getting steamed. Watching from the clubhouse. 1-2 delivery from Telvin Nash. Swinging a high fly ball. Right center field. Well hit. Collier drifts over and makes the catch. And there is one away. 5 1/3 innings so far from Alex Merrithew. As the Blue Crabs still have that 6-0 lead. Wes Mumper then ranked our stadiums. We're going to get there in a moment because I want to get back to this. Wes Mumper puts Lancaster at number 1. Now, we've been to Lancaster a couple of times. It's a nice ballpark. You know, I like Lancaster. I can't say I like it as much as Staten Island. But Wes has that at number 1. York is 2, and they are very similar ballparks. Pitch, check swing foul, first base side, and the count 0-1. Wes put Camden at 3. Now, Camden, the home of the River Sharks, they have since folded, but they were a team in the Atlantic League. 4th, he put Staten Island. That's the back half of these rankings. Long Island 5th. And Charleston 6th. I don't know if the New York City traffic added into the lower rankings for the 2 New York teams, as the pitch to Nelly Rodriguez is low, count 1-1. But for whatever the reason, he really tanked those teams. And Charleston comes in at 6th. That's a tough take. Pitch up and away, and the count 2-1. Charleston's got behind Staten Island the number 2 background in the league. I don't think it's frankly very close. I would put Staten Island by far number 1. Very large separation. Then it's Charleston number 2, and then another large separation, really everyone else. As a 2-1 pitch, called strike, count 2-2 on Nelly Rodriguez. Well, anyways, Wes put Lancaster 1, York 2, Camden 3, Staten Island 4, Long Island 5, Charleston 6. Dennis Moore says Long Island and Lancaster, and he says number 1, though, goes to Staten Island. I think he's right. 2-2 pitch. That one misses a little away. Count 3-2 now. Ben Merrithew says, go Alex Merrithew, watching and cheering on the Blue Crabs from Liberty, Missouri. Well, we welcome you, Ben, to the broadcast. And Marilee Grace responded to the 6-4-3 double play as the 3-2 pitch a little inside, and Alex Merrithew with a rare walk. Alex Merrithew has now walked a pair of batters. Not something that he typically does. Across 5 1/3 innings, he's allowed 5 hits and 2 walks. But after the fly out to Telvin Nash and the walk to Nelly Rodriguez, here comes Troy Stokes Jr., who roped a triple off the wall in center his last time up. Pitch is low, and the count 1-0. One on, one out. Count 1-0 from Alex Merrithew on Troy Stokes Jr. Pitch, that ran up and in and actually clipped him on the arm. And so a walk followed by a hit batter. And there are 2 on with 1 out in the 6th. Well, the Blue Crabs coaching staff has always been very hesitant to go out and actually consult with the pitcher. And, you know, Darryl Thompson will come out, you know, every once in a while if things have gone really far south. But this might be one of those moments where it might be worthwhile to talk things through with Alex Merrithew, give him a real chance to, you know, collect here. He's walked a batter. It was on 7 pitches. He threw a lot of strikes in that at bat. And then you fall behind 1-0, and then you hit Josue Herrera. So now the control is starting to become a bit of an issue. strikes to balls for Alex Merrithew, 48 strikes, 35 balls. Not bad. I mean, he has more strikes than balls, about just under a 60% strikes to balls ratio. We'll give you some more info on that in a moment. Pitch, line drive into center field for a base hit. Around third, it's Nelly Rodriguez. The throw to the plate is cut off, and it is an RBI single for Troy Stokes, I beg your pardon, for Josue Herrera, as Troy Stokes Jr. reached on the hit by pitch. So the walks come back to hurt Merrithew on the RBI single from Josue Herrera. And here comes John Nunez. And meanwhile, Troy Stokes Jr. to second on the hit by pitch after the single from Herrera. It's a 6-1 ball game, and finally the York Revolution on the board here in the top of the sixth. They've gotten a lot of hits today, had a lot of base runners, but had trouble bringing anybody in. And Merrithew has found himself in quite the jam still. Runners on first and second with only one out. And the first pitch to John Nunez. That's away, count 1-0. Nunez singled, was stranded on third base as part of the jam that the Blue Crabs escaped. Merrithew the pitch. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. And the count 1-1. Merrithew gets the sign from his catcher, Joe DeLuca. Here is the 1-1 pitch. Foul back to the netting. Count 1-2. Meanwhile, it's Troy Stokes Jr. on second and Josue Herrera on first base with John Nunez at the plate. Nunez hits .295, one of the better hitters on this team. He followed by Connor Lean and Maglio Ordonez. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes now on John Nunez. Here's Merrithew. Merrithew comes set. 1-2 delivery. Up and away, and the count 2-2. Well, fans, back to the ballpark rankings. If you'd like to add your own rankings, please go ahead and do so. And the pitch on the ground to second, could be 2. On to second for 1, back on to first, not quite in time. As John Nunez runs rather well, a fielder's choice, and the ground ball to second. And there are 2 away. Runners on first and third with 2 outs. As Connor Lean comes to the plate. You know, they say players who got a lot of speed never really go through slumps, because ground ball to shortstop, a ground ball to third base can easily be a base hit for someone with the kind of speed that Connor Lean has. He's a good defensive center fielder as well, as the first pitch is low and away, count 1-0. And his speed makes a major difference in his game. He goes from a player who is, okay, has his ups and downs, to somebody who's a really, really useful player based on that extra burst that he gives you, as the 1-0 pitch is away, count 2-0. Played in the Atlanta Braves organization through 2019. Played as high as the Gwinnett Braves in AAA, where he hit just 167. But he had a high on-base percentage at .348. And the pitch to Lean, swinging a high fly ball, center field rather deep, sends Collier back. He's in front of the warning track where he makes the catch for the final out. The Revs score 1 in the top of the 6th. They strand 2 at the end of 5.5 innings of play. It's the Blue Crabs 6 and the Revs 1 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Blue Crabs have a 6-1 lead over the York Revolution. Southern Maryland looking for their 4th consecutive series opening win. And the pitch, it's away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs picked up game 1 of the series against Gastonia on the road. Lost games 2 and games 3. And the 1-0 pitch, that's also low to Crosby. Count 2-0. Against Kentucky, an 8-7 win in game 1. And games 2 and 3, back-to-back losses by 2 runs apiece. And a 5-4 win over York in game 1 of the series on the road as the 2-0 pitch is upstairs. But again, games 2 and games 3, losses by 2 runs or fewer. All these games have been close. The Blue Crabs have been in every one of them. And back in the first half, these are games the Blue Crabs pull out, but not here in the second half. 3-0 pitch, called strike, count 3-1. It was that kind of way in the first half. Anything that could go right did go right for the Blue Crabs. Any close games went the Blue Crabs' way. Here in the second half, things starting to even themselves out. Pitch, fouled back to the netting, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Alex Crosby. Crosby followed by DeLuca and Hibbert, 5, 6, and 7 in this Blue Crabs order. And then 8 and 9, the 2 home run hitters will come to the plate if necessary, with Shaw and Yetzko following those first 3. Shaw 2 for 2, a single and a home run. Yetzko 1 for 2 with the 2-run shot. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. A nice pitch from Herrick, who remains in this ball game. Ben Herrick has gone 5 1/3 And he stays in the game here for the 6th inning, which is, to be honest, a little surprising. I didn't think that York would go back to him, but I guess 6 runs over 5 1/3 will do enough to keep Ben Herrick in the game. DeLuca 1 for 2. He singled to center field his first time up. First pitch, low and away, count 1-0. We gave you the numbers earlier in this ball game from between the top of the order and the bottom of the order, and those numbers remain starkly different. The 1 through 4 hitters for the Blue Crabs are 1 for 11. Pitch on the ground, hit sharply over to third. Josue Herrera fields and fires. There's one away. And 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. And Matt Hibbert will come to the plate. With 2 away in the 6th. Here's the pitch to Hibbert. Swinging a high fly ball, rather deep to left. If it's fair, it's gone. That ball is a home run. Onto the top of the picnic deck, a solo shot from Matt Hibbert, who skies one over the wall in left field. And the Blue Crabs have a 7-1 lead. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters each have home runs in tonight's ball game. Matt Hibbert now 2 for 3. He was 3 for 4 back in Game 2 of the series with the York Revolution on the road, and he's 2 for 3 tonight with a solo home run. Hibbert said he's trying to simplify things at the plate, and he goes deep over the wall in left field to give the Blue Crabs a 7-1 lead. The home runs keep flying tonight as Raul Shah, another one of those home run hitters, will step in. Hibbert's batting average has jumped to 240. It was back in the 190s only a couple of weeks ago. Major boost for the righty. First pitch away, count 1-0. Shah 2 for 2, a single and a 2-run shot. Yetzko 1 for 2. He struck out, and he also has a 2-run home run to his name tonight. 2 home runs in the last 2 games for Yetzko. 1-0 delivery to Shah. Called strike, and the count 1-1. It's a critically important game for Raul Shah, guy who had really struggled at the plate last couple of games, but boy, has he ever turned it around tonight with the home run and the single. Pitch. Check swing, did he go? He did not. Raul Shah was still reaching on walks, but he had not had nearly as many singles as he'd had in the couple weeks prior. Had a really tough July. Things started pretty well in August, but the series against York didn't go so well. Neither did the one against Kentucky, but big time performance tonight. 2-1 pitch, wave and a miss, count 2-2. And with Yetzko playing so well, and with Wolanski out, Blue Crabs manager Stan Clyburn said, hey, Shah and Yetzko, I'm going to let them battle it out. It looked like Yetzko's getting the better of him, but Raul Shah is really proving himself tonight. 2-2 pitch, that's low, count 3-2. Again, Shah was hitting nearly 360 earlier this season. Back in June when the Blue Crabs visited Long Island. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Shah goes down on strikes, and that ends the top of the 7th inning. Time to get up and stretch here in Southern Maryland. The Blue Crabs tack on another run. They lead at 7-1 off of a solo shot from Matt Hibbert. We're going to the bottom of the 7th when we come back.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
we go to the top of the 7th. I think I got a little bit ahead of myself there. I said we're going to the bottom of the 7th. They're not quite there yet, and Alex Merithew's back on the mound for the Blue Crabs. First pitch comes way up and in, and hits the leadoff batter in the inning, Maglio Ordonez. It's not the batter that Merithew would like to hit, because Ordonez is the 9-hitter whose batting average leaves something to be desired at 167. Anyway, he is hit by the pitch nonetheless, and there's a runner on first base with nobody out for JC Encarnacion, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out once tonight. Merithew closes in on 100 pitches. This will be number 94 to Encarnacion. We've seen Merithew do this before, though. Pitch, line drive, very well struck. Right center field, long run for Hibbert. Hibbert on the run. He's got a beat on it, and he tracks it down in front of the warning track, and there's one away. Well, Alex Merithew really benefiting from the deep wall in right field. A lot of well-hit balls by York tonight, but Merithew has kept them in the yard and kept his fielders busy at that. JC Encarnacion got a really good piece of hitting on that ball. Either way, it results in an out. There is one away in the top of the 7th. Blue Crabs ahead, 7-1. And the pitch, a little bit upstairs, count 1-0. Hibbert hit the ball at 95.1 miles an hour on the home run to left. Not the hardest hit ball of the year by any means, but it's far enough to get the ball out of the ballpark. Pitch, foul back toward the backstop. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Our track man measured that at just 310 to the mini monster and left. Well, it's supposedly 310 down the line, and Hibbert was maybe 50 feet to the left to the right of that line. Maybe not 50, probably closer to 30 feet. 1-1 pitch. That's a little bit low in the count, 2-1. He hit it maybe 5 or 10 feet into the picnic deck, so either the TrackMan distanced a little off, or the distance down the line might not quite be as far as 310. Maglio Ordonez Jr. had a very lengthy lead. He's called back to the bag, though. Don't get a little too far ahead of yourself here. 2-1 pitch upcoming to Elmer Reyes. Swinging a line drive, center field, straight away. Collier is there. He gets under it, and he makes the catch. And there are 2 away in the top of the 7th inning. Merithew's gone deep tonight. Allowed only 1 run on 6 hits. He has walked 2. He's also hit 2. But either way, he's only allowed 1 run. That came back in the 6th inning as he closes in on 100 pitches. That was number 98 to Elmer Reyes. Swinging a line drive, first pitch from Telvin Nash. This one deep to center. Collier reaches up, he can't get to it. Collier's going to fire this ball in. The shortstop, Baca's going to fire to the plate. The throw is in time, they got him. Oh, how about that relay? Collier to Baca to the plate. It's an 8-6-2 put out to get the final out in the top of the 7th. Again, the fielders helping out Alex Merithew to end the top of the 7th. Well, now it's time to get up and stretch, everybody. It's the 7th inning stretch. The Blue Crabs have a 7-1 lead over the Revs. Time for me to catch my breath after a heck of a play in the field by the Blue Crabs defensively.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, we are back in the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher enters. It is Franklin Van Gerp for the York Revolution. Franklin Van Gerp from St. Martin, Phillipsburg, and played his highest level in Double-A. And the first pitch now to Ian Yetzko. Line drive, shallow center, but it is the second baseman, Maglio Ordonez, out there to make the catch. And there is one away. So quickly one up and one down from Franklin Van Gerp. Comes in with a 2.25 earned run average. Franklin Van Gerp reaches high as Double-A with the Giants. Has a 14-9 record with a 4.02 earned run average across his professional career. Was a 25th round pick out of Florida International University back in 2017. And most recently pitched in High A with the Mariners. That came back in 2021. Van Gerp, first pitch to Jack Sundberg. A little bit upstairs, count 1-0. 1-0 delivery. That's a called strike. Count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for Jack Sundberg. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Sundberg still yet to extend his 27-game on-base streak. That's at risk now. He might not get another at-bat. This might be his last shot. Pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2. And now a real risk of seeing that snap. Batters 1 through 4 for the Blue Crabs have struggled tonight. They are just a combined 1 for 11. 1-2 from Van Gerp. That's outside. Count 2-2. 5 through 9 on the other hand has combined for 7 hits. And they are 7 for 15 with 3 home runs. 7 for 15 versus 1 for 11. Pitch way upstairs and outside to Sundberg. And the count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. the bottom of the 7th inning. Sundberg 0 for 3, but he's got 3 balls in the count here. If he can work a walk, well, he would extend that on-base streak from 27 to 28. I think when you go up there as someone like Jack Sundberg, go up there looking for a hit, but 3-2's upstairs, ball 4, and the streak continues. It lives on for Jack Sundberg, who reaches on a walk. He had a 6-game hit streak coming in. Not sure that's going to survive, but he does have a walk, and the Blue Crabs have a runner on first base and 1 out as Michael Baca comes to the plate. "28 games now for Jack Sundberg. As he closes in on that 30 mark, it becomes something really special. And the pitch fouled back behind home plate. The count 0-1. Last time he did not have a hit was back on did not reach base was back on July 22nd. Meanwhile, folks, if you'd like to go and check out the Wild Health versus Lexington game, give it a quick peek. There's a no-hitter going on in that contest as the pitch is low and away. As the Genomes are no-hitting the Lexington Legends, let's give you a look around the standings tonight. Long Island leads Charleston 7-0. Wild Health over Lexington 6-0. The Blue Crabs on top of York 7-1. Gastonia over High Point 3-1. And the Barnstormers lead Staten Island 3-1. There is some action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. It's tough to say who's up and throwing. And the first pitch dribbled foul back behind home plate. The count 1-2. And here comes the pitch. Big swing and a miss from Michael Baca. He goes down swinging. And there are 2 away. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning as Zach Collier comes to the plate.
The center fielder, Zach Collier.
Two away as Zach Collier comes to the plate with a runner on first base and 2 outs. Blue Crabs 7 and the Revs 1 on a warm evening in Southern Maryland. One-0 pitch upcoming from Franklin Van Gerp. It's low. And the count 2 balls and no strikes on Zach Collier. Again, Lancaster on top of Staten Island 3-1. Blue Crabs 4.5 games back from the Barnstormers. It's not over, but a long ways to go for Southern Maryland to get back in that race. Pitch, that's low. Count 3-0 now from Van Gerp. With Sundberg on first and 2 away. In the first half, the Blue Crabs won the first half by by 11.5 games over the Long Island Ducks. And here in the second half, though, the Blue Crabs 24-19, 4.5 games back from Lancaster, who's 29-15. 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike on the outer half, and the count 3-1. Overall, the Blue Crabs have a 14.5 game lead over Lancaster for the best record in the North Division, but it's now Gastonia with the best record in the league. Pitch, big swing and a miss. Count 3-2 now. The Gastonia Honey Hunters have a 3-game lead over the Blue Crabs for the best record in the league. Southern Maryland and Gastonia have picked the different playoff hosting options. We'll get to that after this pitch if necessary. We'll get to that in the top of the 8th now. 3-2 pitch was swung on and missed. And Collier down on strikes. We'll talk about the different playoff formats when we come back here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs strand one and score none at the end of 7. It's 7-1 Blue Crabs on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Now we go to the top of the 8th inning, and Alex Matthews gone deep before in outings, comes back out for the 8th inning. In 2 of his last 3 starts, he's gone 110-plus pitches. And he will throw his 100th pitch to Nelly Rodriguez. It's up and in, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Nearly hit Rodriguez. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Matthews clearly has no fear of going over that 100-pitch mark. And there's so many pitchers today who do. Pitch, slow ground ball, third base side, tough play for DeLuca, who tries the bare hand, and he dropped it. Imagine that's going to be an infield single for Nelly Rodriguez. Would have been a really tough play for DeLuca to make. Either way, a runner on first base and no outs. As Troy Stokes Jr. comes to the plate. It's a tough break. You know, you can't hit a ball much slower than that. But that's your base hit. Fastball velocity, yep, definitely down from where it was earlier in this ball game from Alex Matthews. He's topped out at 90.8, but that last fastball at just 88. Or he's topped out at 92.8. So he's topped out right at 93, really, as the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1 on Troy Stokes Jr. Troy Stokes Jr. 1 for 2 in the ball game. And the pitch popped up foul overhead. It's going to get onto the roof. And the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. See if that ball is going to fall directly in front of us. It might be stuck up there on the roof. I heard it bouncing around a little bit. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch popped up, third base side, long run for Crosby. That finds the seats as well, about 10 rows deep. couple of moths flying by. Luckily, for the meantime, Southern Maryland does not have to deal with the spotted lantern bug. That bug is something else. It's everywhere. It's the spotted lantern fly, I guess it is. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Troy Stokes Jr. chases a breaking ball, and there's one away. They were everywhere in York. You're supposed to see one and squash one. That's the rule, because they are an invasive species from China, actually, and they're everywhere across the Midwest of the U.S., from Pennsylvania all the way out to Ohio and Indiana, and potentially in Illinois as well. Well, after the strikeout, that's going to do it for Alex Merrithew. A very strong night of work tonight from Alex Merrithew. 7 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, 105 pitches, and the Blue Crabs will make the call to the bullpen. We'll give you the update on the new pitcher when we come back, but the Blue Crabs have a 7-1 lead following the strikeout from Merrithew. Another really, really good performance. He is still responsible for the runner on first base. We will step aside when we come back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs have a 7-1 lead. Well, the Blue Crabs are going to give Patrick Baker some action this evening. As the righty has run into trouble more recently, he has been one of the Blue Crabs' more consistent arms and became that 7th inning guy for a while with Briseño in the 8th and Latos in the 9th, but things have really become jumbled since the injury to Latos. First pitch fouled back from Josue Herrera, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first base. The Blue Crabs have a 7-1 lead. I'll give you the numbers on Patrick Baker on the season, as he comes in with a 2.34 earned run average, a 1.25 whip. Last time out was against York in game 2 of that series. Inning of work, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. 0-1 pitches away, count 1-1. I think a couple things for Stan Clyburn here as he's trying to work with the Blue Crabs reliever Patrick Baker. The first of which is just to give him some action in a low-pressure situation. He was pitching so well earlier in the year, and now the number is starting to tail off later on. Pitch, line drive, left center field. It's Sundberg who's got a beat on it. He tracks it down in the left center. Strong throw to first, but back to the bag in plenty of time. It's Nelly Rodriguez. It brings up John Nunez. The other thing, though, is the Blue Crabs bullpen shakeup. So with Latos out, it's been Dykstra in the 8th and Briseño in the 9th, which still leaves that 7th inning spot open theoretically. But the Blue Crabs starting pitching has gone so deep this year that they almost haven't needed a 7th inning guy. I mean, Darrell Thompson goes 7 innings virtually every time out. Alex Marathu does the same. Mitch Lamson has 6 complete games on the season. The next best in the entire league has 2. Pitch, called strike. And Butler usually goes at least 6. And then the 5th starter is sort of a big question mark. But what that's shown is that the Blue Crabs really haven't needed a 7th guy. They haven't needed many arms in the bullpen at all, for that matter. 0-1 delivery. Fouled back in the count, 0-2. Guys like Nick Wells, who really should be getting a lot of innings here, as he's working back from a bit of an injury himself. He was out for a couple weeks. I'm sure he'd like to get some innings, but he's not getting many innings either because the team is just, the starting pitching is going so deep, they haven't needed the bullpen as much. Count 0-2 on John Nunez. Baker set. Here's the pitch. Up and away. High fastball. It's a little away from him in the count. 1-2 on Patrick Baker. I'll give you the final line on Alex Marathu. Talked about that toward the end of his outing this evening, but it's worth reiterating. As long as the runner from first does not come around to score, it'll be 7 in the 3rd innings, 8 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Patrick Baker strikes out. John Nunez, who thinks he got a piece of it. The home plate umpire, Silvio Martinez, doesn't buy it, and that ends the top of the 8th inning. So down the line is final. 7 in the 3rd innings, 8 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts from Marathu. Baker faces 2 batters, and he retires a pair on a flyout and a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network at 7-1 Blue Crabs.
This is Darrell Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jared Walker gets us started. And the first pitch to Walker, ground ball, third base line. It hugs the line. It's going to be extra bases as it goes all the way into left field. Walker trots into to second with a leadoff double. And the Blue Crabs have a runner on second with nobody out. So Jared Walker a leadoff double. And here comes Alex Crosby.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 15, Alex Crosby.
Crosby with a hit already in today's ball game, but Walker hitting the ball much better recently. 1 for 4 today. But had 2 hits in yesterday's ball game. Crosby actually had a 7-game hit streak that was just snapped yesterday. So another guy hitting the ball better recently after a stretch that didn't go so well for him. First pitch line drive over to second. Matlio Ordonez makes the catch, but forces Walker quickly back to the back.
Now batting, the catcher, number 10, Joe DeLuca.
And Joe DeLuca will dig in from the right side. Runner on second base, it's Jared Walker. Joe DeLuca at the plate. Has 1 hit today, and he pops the first pitch up, first base side. Nelly Rodriguez, or I beg your pardon. That is the first baseman, Telvin Nash, who gives chase and runs out of room. Nelly Rodriguez was at first base last night with Telvin Nash, the DH. Tonight they've swapped, though. So it's Nash who gave chase but ran out of room. And here is the 0-1 pitch now to DeLuca. He's 1 for 3 today. And a single up the middle. Pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Count 1-2, or 0-2. Josh Norwood is the new pitcher for the York Revolution. Norwood, a pitcher who was just added today. 3 seasons in the American Association, most recently with Lincoln. Was 3-5 with a 5.42 ERA. This is a team in the Revs that are just desperate for pitching right now. Pitch runs low and in. Joe DeLuca. Count 1-2 now on the righty. The runner on second and 1 out. The bullpen for the Revs in a totally different spot than the way it was only maybe a month or 2 ago. This is a starting rotation that looked good for a while and not so anymore. 1-2 pitches low, count 2-2. And these are games for the Blue Crabs that, let's just be honest, you're playing against a team that has not played well this year, is not one of the better teams in this league. You should be winning these games, but Blue Crabs lose 2 of 3 on the road. All signs indicate that they will hang on tonight for a win, barring a 6-run comeback from the Revs in the 9th. And the pitch on the ground, foul, third base side. Count remains 2-2. There is no action in the Blue Crabs bullpen, so that leads me to believe that Patrick Baker will get the ball for the 9th. DeLuca followed by Hibbert. Hibbert homered his last time up. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters have all homered tonight. A 2-run shot from Yetzko, a 2-run homer from Shaw, and a solo shot from Hibbert. Let's see if DeLuca wants to get in on that party. The 6 hitter, 2-2 pitch, line drive foul, first base side. Count remains 2-2. Josh Norwood, the lefty, only throws mid-80s. You see that quite a bit in independent ball. A lot of left-handed pitchers who throw right in those mid-80s. Two. Swing and a miss, breaking ball, and gets to Lucas swinging, and there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now the Blue Crabs got the offense started early. A run in the 1st inning on an RBI double from Zach Collier, a 2-run shot in the 2nd, another 2-run home run in the 4th. Blue Crabs piled up 3 runs that inning, took a 6-0 lead. They traded runs in the 6th. And the Blue Crabs have a 7-1 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hibbert will be followed by Shaw if necessary. Blue Crabs 7 runs on 9 hits. The Revs 1 run on 8 hits. The opposite of what things have been like recently. Blue Crabs not being able to drive in runs in recent games. They get the runs tonight. Pitch, line drive, and a left from Hibbert. And they're going to send Collier to the, I beg your pardon, that's Walker to the plate. He scores from second. An RBI single for Matt Hibbert, who's 3 for 4 again tonight. He was 3 for 4 in game 2. He's 3 for 4 tonight, adds a home run, adds an RBI single. And he gets a little bit of a pat from Telvin Nash, who congratulates him on another good game, as Matt Hibbert has come through in a major way. 3 for 4 tonight, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. We're going to have to make a decision on player of the game tonight. I think Shaw's done a lot of good things. 2 for 3 tonight. We'll have to see what he does here. He's got one more chance. If he goes deep again, I think you got to give the nod to Shaw, but Hibbert 3 for 4. Pitch, breaking ball, called strike. Ian Yetzko has to be in the conversation. Home runs in back-to-back games. We have a few players for player of the game. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters are the 3 options. Hibbert, Shaw, and Yetzko. Pitch. Low in the dirt. It gets past the catcher. That's John Nunez on a pitch in the dirt. That's going to be a wild pitch. It went 5-hole on the catcher Nunez if you're a hockey fan. That's one that's, probably a little tough to call a pass ball on him. Maybe the major league level that goes down as a pass ball, but it's still a pitch in the dirt. But as far as Nunez is concerned, he wants that one back, I'm sure. Pitch, called strike on Shaw. One on the outer half of the count, 1-2. Shaw is 2 for 3 tonight. He has a strikeout and a single along with a 2-run shot. 2 for 3 tonight. Hibbert 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. 1-2 pitch. Low in the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher. That's Nunez. When we talk about batting averages rising, Matt Hibbert has seen his go from 196 to 245, nearly a 50-point push in the right direction. And he is certainly earning himself more at bats down the stretch in this season. Shaw heading up to 230. Pitch on the ground, right back to the mound. It's gathered by Josh Norwood, who fires to first in time for the final out. The Blue Crabs add a run. An RBI single from Matt Hibbert on a line drive to left. The Blue Crabs have an 8-1 lead as we go to the top of the 9th inning.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
We go to the top of the ninth inning, 8-1 Blue Crabs. And Patrick Baker back on the mound. The first pitch to Connor Lean, a called strike at the belt. 8-9-1 to the plate for the York Revolution in the ninth. Blue Crabs 4.5 games back of the North Division lead in the second half. Of course, clinching a playoff spot in the first half, but they want that second half too. Stan Clyburn made that very clear to me in my conversation with him back before game 2 of the series in York, as the 0-1 pitch just a little outside. It was awfully tight. Count 1-1. Baker set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line drive, right field, foul. And the count 1-2. And Stan Clyburn mentioned, among a whole host of things, getting healthy as the key priority. A lot of pieces in this Blue Crabs lineup remain out. Braxton Lee, who's been a staple in right field this year, he's out tonight. Matt Hibbert making up for it, though, a 3-for-4 night with a home run. David Harris, the designated hitter, he's out. Raul Shah was the DH tonight. He also hit a 2-run home run tonight. Pitch called strike 3. Breaking ball drops in there on the inner half. And Connor Lean goes down looking. And there's one away. Silvio Martinez punches him out. And there's one away, as Patrick Baker's now gone an inning of work with 2 strikeouts to show for it. As it's the 9-hitter, Maglio Ordonez Jr., his father, of course, very well known for his 15-year Major League career. 5-time All-Star. Finished second in the MVP voting in 2007. First pitch called strike. And the count 0-1 as that one painted the outside corner. We talk about other pieces stepping up. We talked about the injury bug going around. 0-1 delivery, line drive, shallow right, long run for Hibbert, who moves in and makes the catch for the second out, shoulder high. And they're now 2 away in the top of the ninth inning. 8-1 still in favor of the Blue Crabs. That last point I'd like to make about that last player who's out, Michael Wolanski's been the everyday second baseman for the Blue Crabs. Ian Yetzko, the last 2 days, has had 2 home runs playing in that second base spot. We all know when Wolanski comes back, that's Wolanski's job, but Yetzko is certainly earning himself at bats late in the season, even once Wolanski comes back, that he'll be in the mix to get some ABs after home runs in back-to-back days. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball from JC Encarnacion into shallow right. This should do it. Hibbert moves in. He makes the catch overhead for the final out in shallow right. The Blue Crabs winners tonight by a score of 8-1. We're going to go through the box score, the pitchers, and the scoring plays in today's game before we send you on your way. But the Blue Crabs wrap up an 8-1 victory over the York Revolution in Game 1 of this series at home. The Blue Crabs lost 2 out of 3 on the road in York. They win Game 1 tonight at home. This is the 4th consecutive series opener win for the Blue Crabs. They just so happen to have lost each of those last 3 series, though, after falling in Games 2 and Games 3 in each of the last 3 series. Let's see if tomorrow the Blue Crabs can erase that streak and finally pick up a series win after losing in 3 consecutive series. Well, let's start with the box score. It's Jack Sundberg, the leadoff man, who went 0 for 3 tonight. He did walk, which extends his on-base streak to 28 consecutive games. Michael Baca 0 for 3 as well. He walked back in the first inning, scored on the RBI double from Zach Collier. Collier is the next batter. He batted third tonight, 1 for 4. That RBI double was his lone hit. Walker 1 for 4 as well. He scored a run. And Alex Crosby also 1 for 4 tonight. He also scored a run. Joe DeLuca had a single early in this ball game, 1 for 4. Matt Hibbert was 3 for 4 tonight with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a solo home run to show for it. It was Raul Shah, 2 for 4 tonight with 2 runs scored and a 2-run shot. Ian Yetzko was 1 for 3 tonight. He got the Blue Crabs offense sparked in the second inning with a 2-run home run, driving in Raul Shah. And Yetzko was 1 for 3 tonight. The pitchers tonight, there are only 2 of them. Alex Matthews, 7 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 1 run. He walked 2 while striking out 3. Patrick Baker, 5 up and 5 down for the hard-throwing righty. For Alex Matthews, the pitch count was rather high, but it's something we've gotten used to. 105 pitches thrown from Alex Marathu, 61 of them for strikes. The Blue Crabs will hand the ball off to Mitch Lamson tomorrow. Your scoring plays tonight: Zach Collier's RBI double drove in Michael Baca. Ian Yetzko gave the Blue Crabs a 3-0 lead in the second on a 2-run shot over the wall in left, driving in Raul Shah. In the fourth inning, Matt Hibbert singled to drive in Alex Crosby. Raul Shah homered again as the Blue Crabs took a 6-0 lead, driving in Matt Hibbert. In the top of the sixth, Josue Herrera singled to left center field. That gave the York Revolution their only run, and Matt Hibbert and the Blue Crabs quickly responded with a solo shot to deep left off the bat of Matt Hibbert. Hibbert came through again in the bottom of the eighth, his third RBI base hit of the night, this time driving in Jared Walker on a line drive through the left side. Blue Crabs winners tonight 8-1. We'll be back with you tomorrow night at 6:35 p.m. for Game 2 of this series. We finish, as always, with the same 4 words. Let's go Blue Crabs.